Have you ever woken up next to someone you love, your head pounding, with absolutely no memory of the night before? Now imagine that same scenario, but with a dead body lying between you. Welcome to the chilling story of Liam and Chloe, a couple who found themselves trapped in a real-life nightmare. It all started on what was supposed to be a romantic getaway. They checked into a luxurious hotel, the kind with plush robes and champagne on ice. But when they woke up the next morning, the dream had curdled into something horrifying. Was lifeless on the floor between them. They had no idea who he was, how he got there, or how he died. And worse, they had no idea if they were the ones responsible. Panic set in. They searched the room, their minds racing, trying to piece together the missing hours. Their clothes were disheveled, there was a broken bottle on the floor, and a faint, coppery smell hung in the air. Liam looked at Chloe, the woman he'd promised to love and protect, and saw a flicker of fear in her eyes that mirrored his own. Could she have done this? Could he? The police arrived, breaking down the door. The investigation began, and every detail uncovered only made things worse. The hotel's security footage became the centerpiece of the case. The first few clips showed Liam and Chloe looking blissfully happy. They were seen laughing in the lobby, sharing a romantic dinner, and dancing in the hotel bar. They looked like any other couple in love, lost in their own perfect world. But as the night wore on, the footage took a dark turn. Later clips showed them in a heated argument. Their voices were raised, their gestures aggressive. Chloe was seen throwing a drink in Liam's face. Liam was seen grabbing her arm, his face contorted in anger. The final piece of footage was the most damning. It showed them dragging the unconscious victim into their room. The camera caught the cold, determined looks on their faces. It was undeniable. They were involved. But why couldn't they remember any of it? The media had a field day. Public opinion was swift and brutal. How could they claim amnesia? It was too convenient. A flimsy excuse to escape justice. Liam and Chloe were separated, placed in different holding cells, their only contact through stern-faced lawyers. The evidence was piling up against them. Their fingerprints were on the murder weapon, a shard of the broken bottle. The case seemed open and shut. Isolated and terrified, they were each forced to confront the possibility that the person they loved most in the world was a monster. Or worse, that they themselves were. Liam replayed every memory he had of Chloe. Their first date, their wedding day, the quiet moments they shared. Could the gentle, kind woman he married be capable of such violence? Meanwhile, Chloe was tormented by images of Liam's rage from the security footage. Was the man she adored hiding a dark, violent side? The love they shared was being systematically destroyed by doubt and fear. Their trial was a media circus. The prosecutor painted them as cold, calculating killers who had concocted an elaborate amnesia story. Their defense lawyers argued they were victims of a bizarre, unexplained memory loss, possibly drugged. But with no evidence of drugs in their system, the theory fell flat. The jury looked at them with contempt. Liam and Chloe, sitting just feet apart in the courtroom, felt like strangers. The weight of the world was on their shoulders, and they were bearing it alone. As the trial neared its end, a new piece of evidence surfaced. A forensic psychologist, intrigued by the case, had been digging into their past. He discovered something that changed everything. But due to a legal loophole and a team of expensive lawyers, the driver walked away a free man. His name? It was the same as the man found dead in their hotel room. Suddenly, the motive was crystal clear. How could they have planned and executed such a precise act of vengeance, only to forget it completely? The psychologist proposed a radical theory, a shared induced dissociative amnesia. He explained that some individuals, when faced with extreme trauma like committing a murder, even a justified one in their eyes, can unconsciously sever the memory to protect themselves from the psychological fallout. Liam and Chloe had been researching a rare, experimental drug known for causing temporary, targeted memory loss. They had also been meticulously tracking the man who had ruined their lives. The truth was far more shocking than anyone could have imagined. They hadn't woken up as innocent victims. They had lured the man to their hotel under a false pretense. They had confronted him. And when the argument escalated, they had killed him, finally getting the justice they felt the system had denied them. Then they had taken the drug. intentionally wiping the slate clean. They erased their memories not to fool the police, but to fool themselves. They created a reality where they could live without the crushing guilt of what they had done. They had literally planned to forget. The final reveal was devastating. They weren't just partners in love. They were partners in crime. They had made a pact, a dark covenant to avenge Chloe's sister, and then erased the sin from their minds so they could continue to love each other without the shadow of murder hanging over them. Their amnesia wasn't a defense. They had built a crime scene between them, and then built a wall in their minds to hide it. In the end, their love story wasn't about surviving a nightmare they couldn't remember. It was about creating one they couldn't escape. The love that they tried so desperately to preserve was the very thing that led them to their downfall. They were convicted, their perfect plan shattered. The hotel room wasn't just a crime scene. It was the tomb of their love, their freedom, and their carefully constructed innocence. They had wanted to forget, but the world would make sure they never could. What do you think? Was it justice, or was it a tragedy born from love and loss? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoy stories that mess with your head, make sure to subscribe for more.